To business consultant, California Republican congressional candidate Michael Allman. By the way, we have called out to his opponent, Scott Peters, always fair and balanced. We has yet to hear back, but hope springs eternal. They usually do come on in the end. So we'll see. Michael, very good to have you.
My pleasure.
You were telling me during the break that whether you're left or right on this, the macro issue, the fundamentals look good. Explain.
Well, they do look good. I mean, the economy continues to grow. I'm looking at the next 2 quarters to be quite positive. We could be looking at 3% in each of the coming quarters. That's very good. Unemployment is low, some of the lowest we've ever measured since we've been measuring it for African American.
The markets had already factored all that in, and they were priced to perfection.
Yeah. So, look, markets move on changing expectations, and you can get a little bit ahead, and I think that's what we're seeing over the last couple of days.
Also, markets move on intransigence in Washington. I think another catalyst, it's been mentioned as other big picture issues. No progress on an immigration deal, maybe punted for a year or more. Another, continuing resolution, the fourth of this cycle, just to keep the government lights on. It is kind of crazy, right?
It is crazy. It's the wrong way to govern, to hold the government hostage on any particular issue. And certainly in San Diego, where I'm from, the people do not want the government closed down over DACA or any other issue. They want it to keep working, and let's address the issue separately.
How bad do you think a market downdraft like this gets? Because it gets all the talk, and then it settles down. We might be at a new level, a more affordable level, but what do you think?
Well, let's look at the big picture, right? We're still up trillions of dollars since the inauguration in just the last year. So I wouldn't get too fixated, and I don't think business people do get too fixated on the day-to-day
But would you
markets.
advise the president in the future, tempting though it may be, to talk about the trillions in added market wealth? What you talk on the way up, you can't ignore on the way down.
That's true. It's a double-edged sword, and it's interesting how the Democrats were saying, when the market's up, the average guy doesn't win. It's going to the rich people. But now when it's down, it seems that everybody's losing.
You're right about that. I was hearing a lot more, the average people are getting creamed in this. Do you think, as someone, you've been a very successful businessman looking at this, that some people are getting too clever in the stock market, that there are all these various exotic products you could trade off that trigger these algorithms?
Right.
We have more mutual funds and ETFs than we do stocks. That's weird. Right?
It is a bit weird, but people look for exposure in different ways. So how can I get exposure in Asia? Well, somebody will come up with a fund for Asia. How about certain Japanese stocks? Somebody will come up with a fund for that.
But they all become part of formulas and measures by which we push a button.
And that's why we see some of the day-to-day volatility, right? That it's a push a button or trade on its own. The algorithms will execute their own trades. But then when it gets wild swings in either direction, I came in first thing in the morning and bought on the open today. So I think it was a down market. I did.
What were you buying?
S&P 500. So placed it on the open. I'm up a couple
Mark
percent.
Cuban, he was doing the same thing.
Well, I'm in good company then.
Interest rates back it up a little bit.
Yes.
A 10-year note at 2.75%, still very low.
Still low.
Are you worried? Some in the market sphere to be aware that we're going to look at a backup in rates, a severe one.
I don't think it's going to be severe. Look, when the economy is increasing, then rate pressure will happen, but I don't see it moving like we saw back a couple decades ago where we had wild swings in the bond market. I don't see that happening for us. I think the fundamentals are strong. Let's just let markets work. Yeah. No need to worry about intervening from Washington or anywhere else.
Just stay calm, stay calm. Michael Allman, the business consultant, California congressional candidate on the Republican side. Let's take a look right now, up about 95 points. But we have had very wild swings, about almost a 1,000-point range today, almost a 2,000-point range yesterday. Very, very crazy. Is that good or bad? Forget about for your stomach, for your financial health after this.